Hi everyone, and welcome to Science for Today. Well, in our new science lab that we have for us, hopefully it sounds alright, my neighbor is mowing his grass beside me. Alright, the question for the day. Alright, so we have this question of the day going on right here for you. What is the momentum of a meatball? Right, so if you have a meatball, and we're going to say it's a 5-gram meatball, if it's rolling away at 5 meters per second. Right, so that's the question of the day that you would normally have for us to kind of kick us off. So if you remember from last week, we were talking about momentum with Newton's 3 laws of motion. So we want to kind of wrap that up with the lab today. Yes, today is a lab day. So we'll have a little bit of fun with that. It'll just be much, much quicker than normal because you don't have to do all the setting up and work and everything involved with it. Anyway, if you remember from last week, if you want to know the momentum of an object, you need to know 2 things. Well, what's the mass of it? Well, we know that it's just 5 grams for this particular meatball and everything, right? We also need to know the velocity of the object, and they're telling you, right? It's moving at 5 meters per second. So what that means is, if you calculate it out, 5 times 5 is 25, right? So it's moving at 25, and then remember, to get the correct answer, you need to have both the mass and the velocity of it. So it's 25 grams meters per second would be the way that you would officially write that. Right, so that's the question of the day that we would normally have for us. Right, now for the lab today, right, normally in class what you would do is you would set up a whole bunch of dominoes. You'd have this long string of dominoes. There are actually 2 whole sets of dominoes. There'd be this ramp set up too, so there'd be this kind of ramp just like in the little picture right here and everything. And what we'll do to kind of show different types of momentum and everything is, well, we'd roll spheres down the ramp, they smack into the dominoes, and then we just count how many dominoes they knock over, right? The more momentum the object has, the more dominoes get knocked over. So it's fairly straightforward and everything when you're actually doing this. During the lab, normally what we do to take a little bit of time is we launch them from lower on the ramp and then higher on the ramp, right? For today's purposes, I'm just going to do one speed just because, or one distance up the ramp, just because it only fits so much and everything in our mini lab that we have right here. But you can imagine, you know, the higher up you go, the more velocity the object gets, so the more dominoes it knocks over. Right, is what happens with it and everything. So you're going to have it set up kind of like in this little picture right here. The ball's going to come down the ramp. It's going to smack into the dominoes. And then, hence, the domino effect happens, right? All the energy that hits one domino transfers through that one domino, hits the next one, transfers to that one, to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, so on. Just like a Newton's pyramid, right? Or just like in some of those videos that you saw last week where they talked about different objects bumping into the next object, and all that energy transfers through that one to the next one, and then it kind of bumps and kind of, you know, it's a chain reaction that happens with it, right? That's where the term domino effect happens. What we'll do is then we're going to have an angle, right? It really didn't matter which angle you use. You just pick one angle, and that's going to be how we measure how much velocity got transferred into those dominoes and that momentum that knocks them over. So normally in class, we have a protractor, and it's got a little angle on it. I will use just a piece of paper right here that's got a specific angle to it. And what we'll say is any dominoes that get knocked over a little bit, but not quite as much as the angle of this piece of paper right here, we're going to count them as still standing up, right? Any domino that's at least the same angle as this piece of paper or greater, we're going to count those as being knocked over, right? And so what we can do is when the ball comes down, knocks over the dominoes, any domino that's this angle or greater is going to count as officially knocked over. Any domino that's not quite this angle, it's officially not knocked over and everything. And that way we can see for the different spheres that are going to run down and smash into the dominoes, which ones had the most momentum, how much momentum energy got transferred into those dominoes. Did it knock over all of them? Did it knock over none of them? Or somewhere in the middle, right? So that's kind of the procedure for the lab that we'll do. So normally I tell people you've got to have a certain number of dominoes, the angle thing, the spheres, the ramp calculator. You don't have to worry about that this year. You know, it's a little bit easier for you and everything as far as there's not so much stuff to do for it. So let me cut really quick to the video of us. I have one of my kids are helping me out with the domino lab. So we'll do that really quick and I'll get right back to you. All right, so here we go. You're going to drop which one first?
The biggest.
Okay, so put it to the piece of tape and let it around. Boom! Okay, so we don't count these, that's not it. But we're looking for how many of these are here that are this angle or more. So let's see.
I think we missed it.
Yeah, I think it's back here. I'm going to say that one right there. So we're going to say it knocked over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So which ball is it? So this one, the 13 ball is 15. Then we have to reset. I want to get that side. Okay. Which one's going to be next? Which one's next?
This is like
you want to do the granddaddy one
next? It's about the same size,
but one's much heavier?
Much heavier, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to do the super duper one next?
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see how many it knocked over.
Let's see. Oh, wait.
No.
This one?
Yeah, that orange one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 this time. 17! Okay, reset. Very nice. You gotta make sure they're all touching. So we did the big one. All right, so we're doing the next, the white clear glass one. And, oh, okay. Let's see here. It knocked over probably that guy right there.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the glass one has only knocked over 8. 2 to go. We got to reset. Reset. All the way to the end for the little marble. Oh my goodness! That marble knocked over none. Okay, you want to try it again? That doesn't count. It's not looking good for little baby marble here. I mean, little baby. Whew, I don't think it's got much chance, but let's see. Didn't even phase it at all. There you go. So, depending on the mass and the size of the marble, it knocks over different numbers of dominoes because it has different amounts of momentum depending on which sphere you were slamming into it. All right, we're back. We found 2 more balls to try here and everything. Let's try Mr. Smiley first. All right, if we try Mr. Smiley ball, how does he feel? Soft and squishy, not very heavy. All right, so we'll see. Can it roll down the ramp because it's so big? Oh my goodness! It was a disaster. The first test was a disaster. Here, hold on. There we go. Okay, we rolled in. How many did it knock over? It looks like it only knocked over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
6 spheres. But then we have the King Kamehameha ball. Whew, how would you describe this one?
Like at least like 3 pounds.
Okay, it's super heavy here and everything. So if I hold the ramp, maybe steady for us. Oh, no, too steady. All right, try again. Oh my gosh, it knocks them all down. It's a strike. The one with the most mass wins. Complete and utter devastation.
Oh my goodness.
So we're back. The lab was amazing. I'm sure you were at the edge of your seat the entire time, especially when that really big sphere came down and smashed into all of them at the very end. Yeah, it was kind of predictable what was going to happen for it. All right, so basically, the more massive the object is, the more momentum it gains as it rolls down the ramp and knocks over more and more of the dominoes for us. Let's hear, the next thing that we have is the reading, right? So the normal reading that you would do in class after the lab's over, that's in the folder for today. So you want to kind of read through that. So after watching this video, after reading that, you can take the quiz then for today's lesson and you should be good to go. All right, hope this helped you out a little bit, and remember to stay safe,